we're pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Warriors, Coach Charlie Ernst. And, Coach, these trips aren't easy, and you come up to the UP. I certainly didn't expect this, but you guys came out on fire and did it with your offense, did it with your defense. Pretty satisfying victory.
That's to say the least. I told our guys after the is better than what I think they feel like right now in the locker room. I think they're the only team that's beaten Wisconsin Parkside this year. I think Parkside's 8-1, and they knocked them off. They went to Lake Erie last weekend and beat them by 25, and so they've got some wins under their belt. Here's the thing, and we talked about this week. They're young, and they probably don't have a lot of grit when you can kind of take their heart from them. And so we challenged our guys on the defensive end. The first 5 minutes, I don't know what the score was at the end of the first media timeout, Jason, but it's worth looking at and then looking at what the score was at halftime. And I think what you're going to find is that we do know that in the third media timeout segment, so that would have been from the 10-minute mark to the 5-minute mark, we outscored them 26-5 in that segment. So, we questioned their transition defense coming into the game. We thought their quarter court defense was decent, but their transition defense we questioned. But to get a team in transition defense situations, you got to get stops. And so we knew that would be a big part of our offense, and I felt like it was.
Well, you finished the final 13 minutes of the first half on a 39-11 run, and you're right. At one, it was a media timeout. It was 18-16, and next thing you know, it's a blowout, and some nice performances. I'm going to start with Alex White. Alex has a career high 17 points, 8 rebounds, but really proud of his effort because he had a tough go of it on Saturday. Maybe you guys challenged him a little bit in practice. Maybe he challenged himself and took advantage of his size advantage down low.
Well, ironically, this was a team last year they kind of really got going on. Played well a year ago when we played these guys, and maybe it's something about Northern Michigan and the green and gold that brings out the best in him, but we're going to need him. He's a big key to our team. He's a very good defender, a good rebounder, and he keeps getting better. He's only a sophomore, so sometimes you want those sophomores to give you more each and every night out, and then you got to remind yourself that they're still young. Their career's not even near halfway over yet. So, we challenge him, but at the same time we understand that we've got enough juniors and seniors on this team. Those are the guys we expect a little more from, but certainly when we get that kind of production from Alex, it just makes us better. Yeah,
certainly got a lot of points in the paint tonight, 48 of them. Tyler Stern-Tucker was perfect, and I didn't realize it. 7. He also had 9 rebounds. He had 3 assists. I mean, the guy played 15 minutes, and he had 16 points. I mean, that's pretty good.
And he's a guy I know on some of our shows, Jason. I've told you that we kind of need that third guy to step up. And though Tyler comes off the bench, I felt like he might be one of the more capable guys. Obviously, Elijah comes to mind, Alex comes to mind. But a lot of times the guy that comes to mind for me is Tyler, because he's one of the most difficult matchups in this conference. And, so it's good to see. Tyler can hurt you inside or outside. In fact, he's probably done more consistently for us this year from the three-point line, and we feel like he just got to continue to believe in himself and expect that much from himself.
Well, we spent a lot of time in these last couple of weeks talking about the loss of Austin Gardner, and it's certainly going to be missed. And I think there's no positive comes out of an injury, but Trey Smith now being in the lineup, I think now he's somebody that teams are going to have to be aware of. And tonight, just a sample size, but he had 7 points. He had 4 steals, and there's some tough steals that he got, and it brings a little something different to that second unit.
I will say this: before Trey even walked on the floor after Austin's injury, and probably Austin would concur with this statement, and that is Trey's got some of the quickest hands in this league. And, he makes steals and out of his area on the ball. He's just such a disruptor. And then he's so fast that he's just a different element that we can put out there. And then, of course, you have Ricardo, who's more of the big muscle point guard. And I thought Ricardo did a lot of good things too. But I just think that change-up. Trey's continuing to get more and more comfortable with what we're doing, and that's going to take some time in terms of what we want offensively. All the sets we run, we anticipate a lot of zone this week. So we've spent a lot of time on our zone offense and all the sets and all the reads there. And then on top of that, because he went from a scout team guy that really didn't need to know all those things as a red shirt to now he's got to learn them all and learn them all in a hurry, And what you don't want to do is overload his brain that it takes away what he does do well, which is be really that balancing act right now with him.
Well, it's got to be the best game you guys have played all season, Coach. You out-rebound them by 16. You have 15 assists. They only have 7. You don't turn the ball over too much there. You have 29 points off of turnovers. Not much more you can ask out of your team on the road.
No, and we got a lot of guys, a lot of valuable playing time, and we're able to rest our starters a fair amount. And we're going to need that because our challenge on Saturday is going to be a much bigger one. And
let's talk about that on Saturday, because now you have an opportunity to get a little greedy, and certainly it's not easy to get one win up here, and you got it. You got it on a Thursday night, a chance to go back to the hotel and rest and get ready for a team that's very good at home.
Well, and there's nothing easy in this conference, especially here in the UP. I don't remember, Jason, the last time we came up here and got a sweep. Usually if you get one, you're pretty happy. Well, we got one, and now we go to Michigan Tech on Saturday, and we expect a war, but our guys are playing. We're going to be going into that game with a lot of confidence, and I feel like we're going to be pretty well rested for this type of trip. We have final exams behind us now. We got a game behind us, and now we can put all of our focus on Michigan Tech.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations, and we'll go ahead and wrap up this broadcast, and we'll see you on the bus in a little bit.
Thank you.
All right, that's head coach Charlie Ernst after